Welcome to another HACSU vodcast, your health and community services union. In this episode, we are joined by Lily from HACSUassist.
Hi.
And we're going to get into it's actually, I think it's a really important topic. HACSUassist, we covered this off in a recent podcast where it was, what is HACSUassist? We met some people behind it. You're another one. It's the exclusive hotline. But in this episode, we're really going to talk about what happens if you want to make a complaint or you've got a grievance but you don't want anyone to, you worry about retaliation and how you can protect their identity from that, which I think is amazing. Before we get there though, just to refresh, what is HACSUassist?
So we have the email and the phone number. It's behind me, and you call up or email us if you've got any issues at all, like pay queries, grievances, been called to a disciplinary meeting, you want to know your rights at all or anything positive as well. You can give us a call. We can advise on what your rights are, I guess what's in the EBA or the award, and we're just here to assist you in anything individual.
The positive thing was amazing because I didn't realise that, but you could ring up and say, I want to go for a promotion or I want to go for permanency. Do you think I have enough? So you can call, or even things to do with if you've got queries around your annual leave.
So converting from casual to permanent, if you want to go part-time, we can go through that process. Got a template for sending it off to your employer. We can make sure that you meet the requirements or advise on if you are going for a higher level of pay grade, anything like that. We can sort of go through that with you step by step, what duties you already do, whether the vacancy would be there, that sort of stuff, and we can advise on that, make sure it fits the criteria, help you form it.
Let's talk about, in particular, if I call you, the process and how you can protect me, because I haven't worked in the health sector, but my mum was a nurse for a very long time, and I know she was represented several times. But in the past, with just even random jobs that I've had, I have personally felt really nervous and anxious about raising any issues, and I can only imagine that would be similar.
It's a very, very common sense we get. Even the initial phone call, they go, I don't know if I want to do anything about this. This is happening in the workplace, and we jot down all the details. And like usually my process is to talk through these would be the options from here. We're going to be guided by what you're comfortable with, what the limitations would be if they didn't want to speak out and go, not everyone's been offered the same shifts, or they haven't been offered annual leave to put in for any sort of thing that comes from management. And they go, but that I don't really want to be targeted. You know, we can sort of send off, I guess, more of a generalised, non-specific sort of de-identified version of a query to them to say, this is what we've heard from members. Can you advise on this? You know, what processes are you following here? Can you confirm that you will resend it to everyone or offer it to everyone and make sure it's a fair and transparent process it's being followed here? Obviously, with that comes limitations, but absolutely here to sort of protect our members first and foremost, and we're never going to act against what they want as well. Like, we're always going to run things past the members first. Whoever calls up, I'm always going to be going, look, I'm here for you. These are the options. This is what we're going to do to protect you. This is what they, shouldn't happen. And if they do it, then you need to tell us straight away as well, so we can protect you first and foremost.
Because confidentiality would be huge. It would be huge, and that fear of retaliation. Although in our previous HACSUassist vodcast that we did a little while ago, I was surprised Richard from HACSUassist said that quite often members are treated better after there's a formal process in place. But you should also have the option to be able to be anonymous.
So absolutely, like especially with things that can be collective in nature, say like all the bargaining stuff, or, if there's a whole widespread problem in, I guess, a whole workplace, that really does protect you because there's safety in numbers. Whereas in an individual space, when you're calling up, it can seem a bit more like I'm putting a red flag up and they're going to aim that straight back at me. Whereas once we're involved, I think, in my opinion, what my view is that the employer goes, they know their rights. they know what they're entitled to. And because we're there and we're there as representation rather than as support, they're treated better because they know that they can't mistreat the employee as much. They have to follow the correct procedures or they will get tripped up on it and we will call them out.
You have a powerhouse behind you
Yeah,
here.
that's it.
If only people, or maybe I should do a video one day because there's so many. You've got lawyers and yourself, and you've got organisers. I've just spilled my coffee. Is that workplace endangerment?
Look, I'll represent you. I'm a witness. Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have to sue your boss. But it is a powerhouse here.
Yeah.
And I love that because it's like if you mess with one of our members, then you've got everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything's thrown at it.
We will absolutely get behind every member that has anything going on.
So I want to make a complaint.
Yep.
And this is hypothetical. I'm not actually making
I can take it. Yeah, that's fine.
except I spilled coffee on myself. But I want to make a complaint. Just run me through the process quickly. So I call you. I get the beautiful Lily.
Yep.
You answer the phone, 1300 880 032.
Yep.
And I give you, say it's a issue on bullying.
Yep.
And I'm feeling though I'm not being treated very well or singled out by my boss, but I want to remain anonymous.
Yep.
What would be the process?
I'll get the details of what happened, when, where, who was involved, that sort of stuff. And I guess my job first and foremost is to listen to what you've got to say because it's not happening to me. It's happening to you, and that sort of needs validating as well. And I find a lot of members do need that validation because they're like, is this too little? Should I not be complaining? Am I being dramatic? And they sort of need to know, well, no, you haven't been treated okay. Yes, this is an issue that we need to address.
Yes. So you don't just answer the calls, but you also represent.
Yeah.
So represent means you go into the workplace?
Yep. So if there's any meetings to be attended, whether that covers disciplinary, anything about a grievance you're raising, pattern of work, changes to rosters, anything that you need to really talk to the employer in an open way about, we're more than happy to come in. Or if you don't want to do it in person, we also then negotiate trying to do it over a video link, and you can come to our office to do it, that sort of thing. So we go in and we just make sure that, I guess, at the end of the day, if you're the one raising it, we're another set of eyes and ears to sort of make sure nothing's missed. But if it is more so the employers, I guess, executed the meeting to make sure that they're not overstepping the boundaries as well for what they can ask you or cover within that meeting, because they need to be very clear with what it's about as well.
That's amazing because I love that personal approach, because you take the call, you give the advice, but then if you need to represent, if I had a grievance or an issue, I would want to not have to keep telling the same story to a new person. So I love that you do that.
Yep.
Let's talk about you. I'd have to say you're probably one of the most bubbly, up and about people in this place. You've got a really awesome energy, but yet how did you get to HACSU?
Always been interested in healthcare. I did 2 years of my RNs and then stopped to care for my grandparents in a personal way, and then went back to...
So you were going to be a registered nurse?
I was going to be a registered nurse, and I sort of had to put that off. My nan and pa were getting too sort of old and a bit more frail aged, so cared for them for a few years, and then went to go back to uni for physiotherapy because I thought it's, I guess, still healthcare, but it was sort of more within my scope at that point of what was interesting to me. And then COVID hit and I had a baby, so I sort of took a step back and went, look, just readjust again, see where we land after all the craziness that was, and ended up moving down here. And I guess I've always just loved the idea of healthcare and helping people. And I guess that when this job came up, I sort of looked at it and went, well, someone needs to take care of the people that are taking care of everyone. Who's going to be fighting their fights when they're going home exhausted, especially in a post-COVID era? Like, someone needs to be there to sort of go, yeah, let's treat you right. Let's do this correctly. When they're already battered and broken to a core and going, we're still just trying to get through. And I know I've got so many lovely friends that are still RNs and work in healthcare and, they're doctors and physios. And you can see that they're just putting all of their love and joy and passion into it. And you just want someone there behind them going, yeah, you're doing it right. You're doing good. So when I saw this come up, I was like, I can be that person. I like that because it's, even though I'm not directly giving the care, it's still, I guess, you're fighting the fight. You're supporting those people that need the support.
I would say you are directly giving the care. Do you know,
Yeah.
like you said, caring for the people that are caring for
Everyone.
everyone. And I think it is something that we should all be concerned about, whether you're in healthcare or not. Like my mum's aging, and if she has to go into a nursing home, don't worry, Mum, I'm not putting you in one yet. But I worry about the aged care services. I also worry about if something was to happen and I can't get an ambulance.
Yeah.
We all, collectively as a community, should be wanting to care for those that are caring for
Absolutely.
our most loved ones, because we're all going to need the service at some point.
Exactly. And I guess I saw that when my grandparents were aged and they, utilised, I guess, what's now my aged care and the packages for that and just the complexities of it. And then my mum's been an RN since she was, younger than what I am now, but so just forever. And so I saw what she was doing her whole life and how much she put into it. And then, on top of that, I've got a son and he's NDIS approved. So it's one of those things. It's just you can see all these different sectors and all the people that are working in them and just how much they put into it. And you just think someone's got to really be there for them and navigate the systems that they don't have to understand fully themselves, like the agreements and the awards, reading through them. They're pages and pages. You wouldn't know where to start sometimes. So...
And overwhelming. Who has the time? You don't have the energy. And I just love that you can pick up the phone and you can call about anything. There's no issue too small, even just for advice. Can they do this?
Yep, absolutely.
I love chatting with you. Thank you.
No worries.
And I think it's so wonderful that the members have you on the other end of the lines. That's someone that's so clearly passionate and you can see would go above and beyond. I wasn't going to do this, but I know that you're a Taylor Swift fan.
Oh, God.
I think it's a little bit of a cult personally, but
to 10 out of 10 it is. Just no denial there.
To sum up, what you do is there a Taylor Swift quote, because I've seen them in some of the offices around here.
Well, to quote myself in the job interview for this.
Yeah. You didn't?
Yeah, I did. I didn't mean to. It just slipped out.
That's a cult, though.
Yeah,
that's when they get into the brain.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they start moving independently without your consent.
I know. It's I quoted it and I think that might have helped me get the job too, because
what was it?
It was bend when you can, snap when you have to. It was it's a fairly nice quote. It's not necessarily a Taylor Swift thing, but it is in a song. So
yeah, that's all we've got time for. But thank you so much.